Hey, happy January 2nd. It is the 8th day of the 12 Days of Articles in Review. Hi, my name is Mary Coughlin, and I am the president and founder of Caring Essentials Collaborative. Today's article is authored by this amazing woman and her colleagues who I had the privilege of meeting back at the Graven Conference last year, 2017. And then I got to meet her even more personally and professionally as well at the Dartmouth-Hitchcock Neonatal Conference that happened just this past fall. Her name is Joanna Salenza. She is a mother of a former premature person, and she is a family advocate for Dartmouth-Hitchcock Children's Hospital up in New Hampshire. And she and her co-authors published a paper in Clinics in Perinatology, just came out in 2017, and the article is entitled Family Involvement in Quality Improvement, From Bedside Advocate to System Advisor. And it is a brilliant paper, and it really just highlights how much further we need to go to really improve the quality of care that we are providing to this incredibly fragile and vulnerable patient population, to include their families. What they've done up at CHAD, which is Children's at Dartmouth-Hitchcock, is just really remarkable, with Joanna being a very present expert, contributor, family advisor to the NICU staff, as well as a real resource to the parents whose babies are hospitalized up at that NICU. And she's just such an amazing champion. So when I got to meet her, I was also introduced to her colleagues, two additionally amazing women, Amy Nyberg, who works out of Helen DeVos Children's Hospital out in the Midwest, and Janelle Baintner, who is out of Maine. And all of these women are just staunch supporters for family-centered care, parent partnerships, working with the March of Dimes, and just really supporting the families that are in crisis in the newborn intensive care unit, as well as really being a sounding board, a support, and an advisor for the clinical staff. So these are just amazing folks. They did a brilliant presentation talking about their experience after the NICU, which is really profound and just really speaks volumes to the opportunities that we have in the NICU during the NICU stay to better educate families, better prepare them for the journey in their life that happens after the NICU stay. But I think this publication really kind of centers around the foundations that we can create in the NICU to really help these families during the immediate crisis and then the ongoing life experience that they're going to have now that they're trajectory has been altered as a result of their NICU experience. So her co-authors are Denise Zayek, Madge Busfrank, and Jeffrey Horbar. All of these guys, besides being clinical experts in their own right, also have relationships with the Vermont-Oxford Network and do very prominent work with that organization, again, identifying best practices, potentially better practices for neonatal care, but also for patient and family-centered care within the neonatal intensive care unit. So what they've done is their paper begins with just a backdrop, kind of the origins of this idea of parents and as partners in the NICU, beginning with the work of Helen Harrison, which was presented in 1992, outlining these 10 general principles of family-centered care. And then they take you through the journey of how those beginning kernels, if you will, of family-centered care then rolled into a bigger framework when they were adopted by the Institute for Patient and Family-Centered Care, and then in partnership with the Vermont-Oxford and their work around engaging families and integrating families with quality improvement work. They do a nice job also highlighting other champions for family-centered care, specifically Dr. Bob White out of South Bend, Indiana, and also the work that's done over in Uppsala Children's Hospital in Sweden, where the locus of care is literally in the parents' arms, that infants receive all their medical care in the arms of their parents. They also, talk about that turning point, or that quintessential role, rather, of parental involvement is skin-to-skin care. The importance of educating families and cultivating their confidence, validating their role identity, and all of these as fundamental building blocks to really fully operationalize what family-centered care is all about. And they also share the very important recent work of the family integrated care research model that was developed in Canada and is now really far-reaching over to the UK and elsewhere as well. And so as they, after that kind of backdrop, or that, kind of background of this idea of family engagement and family-centered care in the NICU, they then went on to delineate just a really cool framework, creating levels of family involvement, right? Because if you've never really done this before and you're still practicing with a mindset that, this is our space, where the clinicians, we're kind of running the show, and the families, we let them in at our discretion and that sort of thing. If you're still operating from that point of reference, if you will, to get fully on board and have parents actually be partners in quality improvement work might just throw you off your balance and coming at it, what do they call it, out of left field without a glove, kind of a thing. And so what they've done, which is really, really cool, is they've identified these levels of involvement, beginning with level 1 and moving up to level 5, where level 1 is families contribute through surveys and focus groups and that sort of thing to inform the clinicians, right, to get that other perspective, and then gradually evolve into, advisory councils, family advisory councils, where clinicians are doing their work and then they run it by the family advisory committee. And then, bringing family involvement to that next level, level 3, where families are participating as reviewers and or consultants during improvement projects. And you can see this, kind of progression of involvement and progression of acceptance and partnerships, which is really what we're shooting for. This is, the gold hoop that we're moving towards. It's 2018 now. We've got to get with the program, and finally culminating in this level 5. Section of the framework, where families are actually co-leaders in improvement initiatives. And at this level, family advisors are on an equal footing with other leaders in the quality improvement initiative. And the thing that I really liked about this, besides this framework, is how they really push the message that this is not just about frontline clinicians, right? That to really be successful, there is engagement, certainly at that micro level in the unit, but also that unit has to be supported in the work that they're doing at the organizational level, at the system level, and then they even go on to at the national and global level. So I think this is a brilliant paper. I think folks that are really wrestling with trying to operationalize full-on family-centered care, this is a very informative paper that will help guide your evolution and your development to achieve that goal. So I'll share the citation for this. I can't remember if it's open access or not, but it's absolutely brilliant, and if you have to pay for it, it's well worth the price of it. Again, brilliant authors, super passionate folks, and I think you'll really enjoy the read. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Take care and care well. Bye.